Hi there, this is Kathy Crow. I forgot my Crow Cottage sign, rats. I need to do this really quick. I am going to do a thing with Pansy Patch this, yeah, it is morning. Wow. I'm not usually here on Friday, and I'm double talking, and it's the is not what's not, anyhow. While I'm fiddling around here on the side. Hi, Lisa, it's nice to see you. I am fiddling around on the side because I'm trying to get my video up, so I apologize for that. You're not actually supposed to do any of that when you're doing Facebook, but I kind of have to, because if I don't get it right off, I can't even find it. It doesn't let me find it. So today I am doing Pansy Patch. Before I get to that, hi Andy, it's good to see you. I am going to do, Andy got to see me experiment with this yesterday. So I saw on our demonstrator planning place, I'm not sure of the lady's name, so if you are a demonstrator, if you want to know who she is, to say thank you to her, because she's a miracle worker. This stamp set is not going to be available to the public, and if you are not a demonstrator, I'm terribly sorry, but it's a really nice set, but it didn't come off the presses, I guess, exactly the way they expected, and we were all complaining about how it was not a good enough, it's called etched in nature, so you would expect it to look kind of sketched when you stamp it, but it was so sketchy that people couldn't even see hardly what they were doing on some of it. I mean, the impression just wasn't good. It wasn't good enough for Stampin' Up's, policies, because they actually have really nice stamps, so it just didn't fit with what they are doing. So it is going to be in the new catalog, but it won't be orderable. They just took it off the market. In the meantime, they should have asked whoever it was. Hi, Jewel. I hope you're feeling better today. They should have asked this lady what to do with it, because she is a genius. She said, just take your emery board. That's all she did. This is just a nail emery board, little one that I happen to have on hand. And she said, take it and just, do that with your little emery board. I did that, and it stamped in one go. I'm gonna just show you, because I was shocked. I had to stamp it like, 5 or 6 times to get a good impression, and it actually just stamped right up when I did that. So I am so excited about that. I get to keep my set handy. I was going to keep it because it has these cute little clovers. Oh, ladies, look at this. These are adorable little clovers. I've been looking for ones that would give me, because there's a new little clover that I just saw in one of my gardening catalogs that's very similar to this, with this light green and a dark, oh, it's gorgeous. I forget what clover is called. If you know, you can write it down for me. So and I don't even know if that's a clover. It's probably just a leaf, but it almost looked like that clover to me. So I turned it into that clover. But anyway, so here is another card that I was able to do after I sanded hi, Marty. Okay, we'll see you later, Marty. Bye. Thank you for sharing. Oh, you guys, I am going to do the drawing. I got your name. So thank you so much for sharing, and then you can be entered into next week's drawing, which next week's going to happen on Monday, but maybe earlier in the day, because our daughter actually is coming with her husband and her little baby. I'm so excited to see them, and so that's wonderful. Anyhow, look at that cute little mushroom. So anyway, don't give up on this if you have it. For those of you who already ordered it in your pre-order, or got it as a gift, like I did. Now, again, if you are a demonstrator, you get all kinds of perks. So join me in May. May is the time to join. You're going to get a good Stampin' Up! Deal starting May 4. Just for 1 month, so you have to do it in 1 month. May 4 to May 30th, you get $155 worth of stuff for just your $99, free shipping. You get a whole bunch of stuff. So, oh, Jewel, what did you say? Oh, I know, Jewel. Every day I keep going through. Oh, this morning, did you see the video I put on my Facebook page? Because this morning on the Tri-City Crow Garden page, that's our garden page, I did a nice little quiet walkthrough because it was quiet. A lot of times there are kids, hollering around out there and cars roaring by and such. But anyhow. All right, I am going to get to the drawing, but this is the card we're going to do today. I love the Pansy Patch, but there are some things about it that I'm not that thrilled about. So I'm hoping this is going to be better than this one today. This one actually turned out pretty good, but the one I'm going to do today, I'm hoping will be a little bit better. And and we're going to do a sponge technique with it. And I'll explain why. So that's what we're doing. But I will go ahead and do the drawing. So again, thank you for sharing. Appreciate all of your good thoughts on our move. I do have a card sale going on, of course, because I'm trying to get rid of a whole bunch. And I have. Thank you so much for ordering, you guys. You are awesome. I do have probably, I don't know, maybe 4 packs left. I'm not sure. But anyhow, if you want any really cool cards, this is your chance to get a good deal. These are nice cards. I would never sell these cards for this cheap ever, ever, ever in a million years. But I can't take them to Missouri. And I can't take my plants either. I'm really sad about that. Every time, we've got our clematis blooming out here right now. The big white ones. Oh, they're like perfect. They're white is that purity, pristine, perfect color. But a lot of times they have in their little stamens, the pollen falls onto the white petals, like they do in lilies a lot. And then Mars, the beautiful, perfect white. Well, they're not. The clematis hold on, I guess, to their little pollen gunk better. So, Alisa, we're moving to Springfield, Missouri. We're going to have an apartment there at first. I'm not sure where we'll end up buying a house, maybe in Nixa. I don't know. We're going to check out Missouri. So, and we visited there for a week and loved it. It was, of course, it's spring. So it's beautiful everywhere in the United States in the spring, isn't it? So we did that on purpose. We've lived here in the Pacific Northwest my whole life. Jeff's lived in California and the Pacific Northwest his whole life. And so that's the farthest east we remember being. I know my sister said, no, you've been there. In fact, I think you've been to Springfield. I remember us being under that arch, that picture you took. So anyway, I don't remember that. I was probably less than 2. All right, I peeked, but I'm going to just put my hand in here and we will see who gets. Hi, Teresa. It's good to see you guys. I'm glad you guys are joining me today. I don't know if you'll get to stay. Oh, Andy, congratulations. You won. Andy, you've got another coupon coming. Good thing you hung on to those, huh? So don't forget, Andy, don't forget to turn those in to me, though, with what you want. Because Andy's been collecting these. So she's got quite a few. So Andy, make sure you turn it in to me, what you want from Stampin' Up! Like within the next, because I'll place an order on May 4, in fact, will it be May 4? It'll be May 4-ish. When the new catalog opens up to everybody, I will be placing an order. So Andy, make sure you tell me what you want by then so that I can get it in there and not have to pay special shipping just for your gift. That would be awesome. And then you can use all 5 of them. You won't even have to use one of them for shipping. Does that sound like a good deal? Good for you and for me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put our camera down. I've got my DSP out here on the desk because this, although I love the black, it doesn't photograph very nice. It's like super glary, and I need to put some lights on it. It's fine until I put the lights on, but I'm afraid if I don't put any lights on, it's going to be like super dark. So let's see what happens here. I'm not sure. I'm always having a hard time, and I've got cords dangling down. I didn't realize I didn't plug my cord in to my phone last night, and it was on like 30% juice. So anyway, I knew that would never make it through our day. Okay, so here we go. I am going to move Etched in Nature. No, I'm not. I told you I was going to show you what to do, that it actually worked. Okay, so after you have sanded your Etched in Nature stamp, I didn't sand it a lot because obviously you don't want to get rid of it. And it does, there must be a protective coating of some type on these rubber stamps so that when you clean them, it actually cleans all the ink off. This one I sanded too. And I used soft suede and it came off better. But my Memento, really stained up the stamp. I don't care because I'm only going to be, this is a very old black. Don't you miss this pad? I do. It's bigger than my Memento. And Stampin' Up! Doesn't do black anymore. But I got it out because I'm kind of missing it. And the old case. I don't like the way it stacks, but I do like the way it shuts. Okay, so I only you saw how much I inked it. I should have probably inked it more. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. And look at that. Aren't you impressed? You have to be a Stampin' fiend to be impressed with such simple things. But oh my goodness, you are so cute. All right, so that's it. Just applying a little bit of emery board to that stamp. And you're going to be all good to go. And then Stampin' Up! Wouldn't have had to, what they did is they are going to give us all a replacement stamp set for that. They are such a great company to work for because they really value their reputation. And their reputation is that they have good products. So when they don't do something very well, they're definitely going to make it right with you. All right, I'm putting you back up because first of all, what I need to do, and I know it's kind of glary, so let's maybe do that. I do need to do a stencil because I want to sponge the Pansy Patch. So let me grab Pansy Patch out here really quick. Oh, Teresa, oh, thank you, Teresa. You are so kind. Let me scan up here really quick, you guys. I'm missing some of your conversation. Let me look here. Let me see if I missed anything else. Okay, so Teresa, you have a friend there, that's awesome because you know what, Teresa? Jeff will want to be part of a church like instantly. And I reminded him that we are going to be in an apartment, which probably won't be anywhere near the house we're going to actually end up buying and living in, hopefully the rest of our lives. And I want to have a church close to that house. So he's going to want to join a church like right off. And I'm going to say, let's go to a lot of churches, please, before we join. In fact, let's not join until we know where we're going to be living. So we'll see how successful I am at that and how successful he is at being able to wait like that too, because it is really hard. It's we actually, when we've searched for churches before, enjoyed the experience. It's wonderful. You get to see how there's so many wonderful people out there. You get to meet them all. You get to go to see all these different churches and the way they work. They all work a little different, but they're all doing God's work in a wonderful way, and we loved that. Loved seeing all the ways God's busy. But you feel like, you're not all that connected when you don't actually know the people. So that part of it isn't as much fun. So Jeff's the people person. He's the one that's going to want to be attached quicker than me. I'm going to be more like, well, I can wait a little bit, make sure. All right. So Andy, you said I forgot to tell you guys. Because sharing my videos there's a trick to it. So, I see some of the people I share just know how would you show the trick with getting this started. Oh, okay. So Andy says that she's got some people, apparently she shared. Now, ladies, I just discovered with Stampin' Up! Earlier today, Facebook, that there's a bell. There's a bell at the top of the page somewhere. I don't know, but you have to click that bell when you like and share in order to get notified. It will change your notifications so that you'll get notified when I come live. Otherwise, you won't know. Apparently, it's the bell. The key is the bell. So anyhow, please like and share. I do appreciate it. Now, one more time, real quick, for people who maybe, if I can find it, I did tuck it away. You're etched in nature. So to get your stamps to work, just take your emery board, your nail emery board. I'm not really trying to advertise that company. I just happen to really like the nails. And seriously, if any of you want nails like this, if there's enough of you, I'll start selling them too. That would be awesome. I would love it because I buy a fair amount of them, and that would be fabulous. Just take your emery board and make it flat like this, so you're not doing it at any weird angles at all, and just rub it on there. And I don't want to do it too much because mine's perfect, but you're going to just rub it on there like that and sand off a little bit of that rubber, and then it's going to stamp really nice. Just do little bits by little bits. Don't go hog wild, you know, because otherwise you're going to get rid of some of your detailing. But in doing that, I got this perfect impression with just one inking, no sweat. All right, now we're gonna get to the Pansy Patch. Thank you for sticking here with me while I was dilly-dallying around. Okay, so Andy, friends joining us, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm glad Andy won because she's been doing mega sharing for me. I really appreciate it. Now the Pansy Patch comes with all of these dies. And Patty Bennett is a demonstrator who, thank you, Barb. Thanks for watching. She put out a graphic that shows these pretty well. You can see them, you know, here. The graphic she did isn't any different than the ones they've got. She just has them laid out in a way that might make it a little easier for you to see how your pansies go together. But I'm going to cut them out. You're going to see that with me today too. But I am not going to use these flowers so much. I've not liked the images that I'm seeing all that much with these dies on colored paper. And I think you're going to enjoy. I haven't done it yet, and I might have time to try it today. I don't know if I will. But I think if we just cut these out on our basic white and color them, I think you're going to like your pansies much, much better than the ones that we're cutting out with our, you know, I've got a couple on Pinterest I did, you know, just showing the pansies cut out, but I gave those away already, so I can't show them to you. So just so that you kind of know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to go ahead. First of all, we need a stencil to cut. Oh, resharing. I'm trying to read what's going on here, and I'm not sure what I'm seeing, so it doesn't matter. I'll just go on. All right, so we're gonna do a stencil so that we can sponge in all these cool, I just did this on white cardstock. So we're gonna start with white cardstock once we get the stencil cut out. So let me drag over the Stampin' Up! Platform. And I've got a magnetic one here. This is a one that I bought through Stampin' Up! Or Amazon. I do not remember which. And I have no idea which. It's impossible to remember things from years ago. So now you can't get it through Stampin' Up! Anyway. I'm looking for a scrap piece of cardstock that I can use to do for my stencil. I don't know why I didn't have one out already, but I didn't. And I kind of want to get a lighter colored one. So let's just grab out a purple posy piece. And we just want the big one that's going to be the outline for it. I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to do the little, the violas. The viola is small, which is viola like violet, viola. I always forget, is it viola or viola? Viola is for the instrument, the musical instrument, okay, right? And then the viola is the flower, like, or is that violin? Violet. Ah, Jeff is the one that told me, here, this is how you remember it. It's viola like violet, and it's viola for the instrument. Well, but unfortunately, there's also a violin, so I get confused, but I believe it's viola for this, and it's pansy for the bigger ones. Those big ones you see generally
violas. Yeah, viola. We're gonna do this right here, maybe. Where do I want to do this? I better do it right in the middle because I'm not going to want to get a bunch of ink on my card, and I'm probably going to get carried away with my sponging because I tend to. All right, so now we have our little template stencil, and now we're going to go to town with some yellow because my favorite of all time, I don't know if you know flowers, but my favorite viola of all time is the Etain. Etain is they've done a bunch of varieties that are probably even better than Etain now, but years ago it was the first one that was just this soft butter yellow. So because it's a butter yellow, we are going to have to drag out our old pineapple punch, which is retired. Oh, so sad. But we need that one to do this card. So we're gonna just put, since we're using yellow, they can overlap. This is not going to be a problem overlapping and all of that. We're gonna just start with our basic yellow, okay? So got these sponges. Now these are our new brushes that are really nice blending brushes, and I don't even think they're orderable right now. Do you guys know if they're back in? I know they're gonna have them in, but my goodness, we've been waiting and waiting for these things, right? This is one of their best things ever as far as tools go. I'm going to kind of keep my card here so I kind of know what I'm doing. And I know this looks purple, like purple posy here, but I just colored in that background because I want this to be, I want it to be white. So it's a really nice yellow. We want it to be a nice, oh man, pale yellow. And then we'll make it darker as we go, okay? All right. Again, doesn't matter if it's going to overlap some here and there. That is not going to be an issue for us because we're going to be using the stamp after we've gotten the initial yellow in. We're going to use the stamp to put in the face. Right now, we're just doing the outline. And then we'll do the face later, and all the details will come in. I'm checking to make sure this is the color I really want. Now, this one's going to look a little more vibrant, but today's one is going to be a little different. I'm not going to do orange. I am going to try to do our Etain viola. Wish me luck, ladies. Wish me luck, because this is a very subtle little flower. It's actually not a pansy, you know, so I know I'm using a pansy, and people who are flower people are going to say, no, you can't do it with that, but it's very close to a pansy. It's similar. This is going to be a little more ruffly, but like I said, there's always new cultivars, right? They always are putting out new cultivars of things. So we'll just pretend this is a new, nice, brand new cultivar. If it doesn't look anything like my Etain, my favorite, then it will be my own special one that just sort of, it seeded itself. It just popped up in the garden. I don't know its parentage, where it came from. It's my own. Okay, it looks like blobs right now, doesn't it? Okay, the idea is, though, you want to get it random, but not too random, because pansies, they all have this little face, and you don't want its little face to be, or at least I don't want its little face to be upside down. So sideways is okay, but upside down, no. All right, so today, ladies, I am going to tell you what's been going on. At the Crow Cottage, we are selling our house, of course. So on Monday, it went on the market, and we were really excited about all of that. Now, I kind of like how this is a little darker than this one. That's not bad. Let's try that again. Let's try to do it a little lighter, maybe up here. We'll kind of move it a little closer and do a little lighter. And so, you know, we've never, this is the first time we've ever sold a house. I'm sure you're laughing hysterically at that, but it's true. So I didn't really know that I needed to pay attention to people wanting to come and see it. I looked at my phone and realized, oh my goodness, there's a whole bunch of people who want to come and see our house. That's fabulous. I better say yes, 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 yes. And so they did. So there was a whole bunch of people that came to see it. And then we got an offer that night, which was a fabulous offer. It was our asking price and all, but our realtor thought we were going to be offered a great deal more. So he said, okay, we are going to wait one more day and then we'll see what happens. Well, because properties have been going like hotcakes here. I mean, seriously, people have been bidding wars on everything. But my garden is pretty substantial, you know. I'm not nice. Okay, we're going to do darker again, but those light ones are pretty nice, but they're almost too much paired up. So let's check this here. We definitely don't want you want randomness. You don't want too much of a pattern going on. So I'm not going to overlap here. Let's do you a little more straight on and down a little bit. Thank you, Andy, for your encouragement. That when you're doing stuff like this, it's always, it's like, well, we're gonna do our best. We'll see what we get. I have no control over it. My hand is moving independently of my mind, but it's not really. But it feels sometimes like, well, what I thought I was getting, I didn't manage to accomplish. Sort of like playing the piano. Sometimes you can hear exactly what your little hands should be doing, but they're not doing it. Why not? I don't know. Doing the best I can. Okay, that was good. Good, good, good. This is looking good. Let's go this way. Let's go this way like here. Anyhow, so we got all those showings in. I was really excited because we got so many showings in one day. That was sweet. And then the next day, no one called. It's like, wow. We prayed all along that God would make it clear, very clear sign which offer to take. And he did. There was, we just didn't have a whole bunch of offers laying all over the table. So it was really, and we really liked it sounded like it was a perfect match as far as the couple and all that. So that was sweet. It was a sweet deal. The funny thing is then we took the offer, and then of course the next day we were just inundated with wanting to see it. Showings. I had to say no, because we had already sold it. And I just thought, you're so good, God. Thank you so much. Because Jeff and I are not hagglers, and we don't know things, and we don't really like any of that. And we're perfectly happy with what's going on. All right, awesome. I'm loving it. Now it's going to be smaller because I'm going to use this die. What's this die, you ask? Oh, let me show you. This is Scalloped Contours. It's going to be in the new catalog, and when it comes out, oops, not that one. No, it is this one. I think it's the one. It is. It goes with this stamp set. It's a cute one. I'll get to it eventually. But I've been using this like crazy because the little scalloped with the little half circle holes around the frame, oh, so cute. It's the perfect size for our cards. It's perfectly sized. This one does a little stitched edge and a scalloped, as does that one, but that's not all. There's a nice label with this scalloped, and this one, oh, this one, my goodness, you guys, look at this. There's cutting lines that don't cut it out, but leave nice little slits all along the edge. It's a decorative little slit. You can't see. I'd have to cut it out to show you. But there's little, so it's, oh, this is fabulous. I love it. This one's great. And then look at this scallop. This, you cannot get this with these scissors. Okay, I have scallopy scissors, right? They do not do well. They don't. It's very, very hard to do a straight line with those unless you're really good at it, and it's a short line. It's really hard to do a straight line with the scissors. But here you can just lay it on it, and it's a stitched scallop. This is why I love the dies. They're so, they make everything so much better, okay? Just don't quit doing your dies. They're fabulous. All right, that's that. So now what we're gonna do is take our stamp, and we're gonna try to make, I don't want, I want an edge actually. I want the face, but, now here's what's lacking. What's lacking is the face, the actual face. So I need these petals. Okay, so I'm gonna need to use this one because I don't want this mottled thing. I want, my Attain actually has like just purple edgings, kind of like the Johnny Jump Ups. You probably know what those Johnny Jump Ups are. They have more purple on them, and you could do that. I mean, this all in purple would look really good here, but today I'm trying something different. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it in yellow, just so that I know exactly where the lines are gonna go, but I'm gonna have to use my pen to color almost everything in on this, because it doesn't have a stamp that does an actual face. What's the matter with you for not doing that? Oh, Pansy, I bet I can find another die, or I mean another stamp set that I'm gonna want. They're gonna put out another Pansy set, and I don't actually have any. I looked to find a good background Pansy. I wanted a background Pansy for one of the cards that I just recently did. And I found, this one is not it, but our calendar ones from way back had a little Viola. Still, I have to think, like, which one? Is it chocolate or vanilla? Okay, it's Viola, not Viola, it's Viola. All right, so now we're gonna take this yellow, and this is why it's getting darker. I did this with this one, it ended up being darker, so this time I'm gonna stamp off before I do it. And you're just gonna match it up, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's gonna just give me some of my outline of my little face so that I can see what I'm doing when I go in with my pen, okay? So let's just try it. Now this is not, I'm not gonna be perfect with this because I'm trying to rush enough that you're not here with me for 3 hours wondering when is she gonna finish, because I got life to do, you know? All right. Oh, see how nice it is where I stamped lighter or sponged lighter? Can you see that? I don't know if you can because of my lighting, but you can see the little detailed veining a little bit there. Oh man, it's nice. Okay. I love flowers. Can you tell? All right, so then after we got our house all shown and sold, actually the day I thought I was going to have a whole lot more showings, that morning when I went out, there was a giant cement truck. I mean, giant. Out in front, right next door at the neighbors. And I thought, oh no, are they going to be blocking our street the whole day this house is showing? And finally, one of the drivers came up to our driveway to look at the realtor's notice, you know, and take one of the flyers. He was looking at one of the flyers. So I walked down to talk to him, and he said, yeah, we're going to be here a while. Sorry, it's going to be really noisy. Yeah, well, anyway, it didn't matter, did it? But they had, because nobody came anyway. So I thought, God, you are so good. Thank you for not letting that happen yesterday when everybody, you know, came. Anyway, they were pouring some kind of a cement pad into the backyard of someone's house, and they had this big pipe from the street in the mixer's bed that they were pouring cement into up over the roof of the house and pouring it in. I mean, it was pretty spectacular. I had no idea that they did. They poured cement over a house. I guess if I'd thought about it, I could have figured out, well, of course they have to do that sometimes, but I had no idea. Anyway, I enjoyed that. That was fun. All right, now I can see where the pansy is. So this is where it's going to get a little technical and tricky. Because I think what I'm going to do first of all, it has a distinct throat. Now, when you're looking at your dies, there's a little beard that when you cut these out of your dies, it's going to go right here to show you where that little throat is. But it's actually a little throat, and it's smaller than what this is. And that's another reason I'm not as fond of these dies. I think with these dies, they will look better when you've cut it out of white and colored it. And I can see right now I'm probably not going to have time. Oh, good, Jewel, these brushes are orderable. Fabulous. Thank you so much. I'm going to remind you guys that right now, if you place $50, a $50 order or more in my store, you are going to be entered in for this raffle. That raffle's going to be going on April 30, so it's coming up quick, just a few days away, next Friday, in fact, I think. And I have one more. I made two, and now I have one left. And this is my little card album that has all kinds of cards in there. So I made this little album. It's really cute. It's got room for tons and tons of cards. So if you place a $50 order, you will be entered into that little raffle to win this. And if nobody does place an order and I have it extra laying about, because I'm not going to take it to Missouri with me, I am going to let my youth minister have it. He'll be thrilled, in fact, to have it to raffle off for their camp stuff. So don't feel bad if no one takes it. Don't feel bad. I'm still going to do the raffle. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, let's see here. Now, the other thing about the dies that you're going to get with them that I am not getting is the actual impressions. There's instead of having impressions, I'm going to just put in the lines. But if you wanted to, you'd have these all cut out, but you would get impressions. Now, these dies are somewhat differently shaped, this is going to go like this. It's kind of tricky if you don't cut it out. It looks a little different. These, let me just show you. This pansy slightly larger than this one, right? You can see that. I thought they were going to be the same, and they're not. So just for you to know, this pansy, cuts this out, but the pansy you get when you cut out all the pieces to put them together, this one's larger than this. It's larger than these. And the little one is larger than these also. Okay, so this one does not cut these little ones out. I know. These are things we should know, and we don't sometimes, because I'm going to just check here, but I don't think this one is this one. Let's look. No, it's a leaf, I believe. I think that one's a leaf. I'm not even sure what that one is. Oh, are you a beard? No, you're not a beard either. Huh. So I'll play with it, but maybe this one is this one. It's looking pretty close. Even if it's not, it might be close enough. You might be able to make that one work for that. We buy dies, so there's no fussy cutting. And when I get a die, thinking I'm not going to have any fussy cutting, and then I end up having fussy cutting, I get a little testy. Right? Am I the only one who does? I'm thinking, disclaimer alert. That should have been on there. Okay, I'm going to need to take this off. I'm done with that. And now we're going to use the pen to try to make our little face. Now I'm going back to my little speech about the throat. I want to start with the throat just so that I know exactly where that one is. It actually needs to be a little bit lighter color than, or does it go darker? Actually, it might go darker. So let's grab out some Pineapple Punch blending pens, and we'll start with the lightest one and see what happens. I'll just do that. Oh, that's pretty dark. So this is going to just kind of show me where is that center. So as I'm playing with it, I don't get too lost. Okay, that one I can't really even see. Okay, so now I can see where my centers are. And remember, your blending pens and your markers don't blend together. Blending pens blend with blending pens. Markers don't really blend with anything. They're water-based, but they really take hold and they really don't blend. So what you use with your markers, you're going to end up with. So try not to make mistakes with it. I'm going to do Gorgeous Grape because I want a really dark edge. Because that's what, well, actually Attain has a more lavender edge. So let's find Highland Heather instead. And let's start with this tiny tip, and good luck to me now, ladies, because this is it. This is the big whoop-de-doo. If you don't do it well, it's going to really show. All right, we'll try to go around the edge. Don't like it, but we'll keep going anyway. Sometimes the initial one isn't as nice as what you end up with later. I just don't like the way I took it in there. All right, now this is where I shouldn't have taken it in there, but I did, so I better take that one in too. All right, so now you're gonna be able to get your overlaps. So where it's obvious that it's overlapping, well, make sure it's overlapping. Don't, try to make the one that should be going under. Kind of like keeping the under in underwear, under view. Isn't it nice that fashion has changed? That you're not seeing people's, like particularly little boys and big men, they're, you know what, because their underwear is showing. I don't want to see their underwear. I don't want to see anyone's. And when I was seeing women's underwear, I think it was even worse. So it's so nice not to see that anymore. I've enjoyed it. Going out in public and not having to avert my eyes, my poor, poor little eyes. Okay, there we go. Looking good. This does take a while. I'm so terribly sorry, but oh well. You can make this ruffly. There are ruffly pansies. Did you know that? That's a fairly new thing. Can I do one? You're just gonna do little ruffles if you want a ruffly pansy. Now usually the ruffles though are double petaled and these are single. So this is a half and half, a hybrid. Started out ruffly and then we abandoned the ruffle because I don't really want them to be ruffly anyway. The Attain ones are, well, the ones that I have had in my garden, they are not ruffly. I bet they have ruffly ones out, though. They're pretty cool. They have new ones all the time. Every time you develop a love of a plant and you think it can't get any better than it did when you saw it in the nursery or whatever, then like in a year or so, wow, they have an even better one. They just do that. All right, getting near the end here as far as the outline part goes, and then you'll see the face coming into play a little bit better. I just want to get the outline. All right, very good. Jeff and I have been enjoying going to the, well, it's the river. It's almost lake-like. It's pretty wide where we go look at it. And did I tell you about the guys that he saw that were two guys? They came like really early in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning or earlier, because he gets there really early. And now I need to look at my petals here just to see how does this work. I need it to go all the way around. So this guy is going like that. This one's going like that. There, now I'm starting to see the face a little bit. And then the bottom one is going in like that. And like that. Okay. They drove up, he said, and they went to the river. this is not my, I'm not liking this shape here. We're gonna get our blending pen out and fix that. But I'll just do this for now. They stripped down to their shorts. He said one of them looked like they had a kilt on. I don't know that it was a kilt. It just kind of looked like a kilt, he said. And then they stripped down to their shorts, except for the one maybe who had his kilt on. I don't know. And then they jumped in and swam around a little bit, got out and went out. It was just odd. Never seen that. He said they did that 2 mornings in a row, and then he didn't see them anymore. And it actually, they did it when it was cold, and when it warmed up is when they stopped. So go figure. All right. These are looking a little goofy, but we'll fix it. We'll fix it, I guarantee you. Okay, blending pens to the rescue. When things look a little goofy, blending pens, you can always make it look good. So here's our Highland Heather. We'll stick with our light blending ones. All right, here is this one. So we want to, we want to use the bullet point for sure. Okay, now what I'm going to do, let me bring this down so you can see. My friend Andy was wondering why do you do this feather thing? So the feather thing, I don't always do. If I wanted to do the outline with this, of course, I would have just done that around with the outline, and it actually might have turned out better, but I wasn't sure that I could get as thin a line as I wanted. So it is going to be a softer, if I'd outlined with this, it would be softer and smoother. But the problem is if you're pressing down with your oh dear, my blending pen, like I just did there, it's hard to not start spreading out, okay? The harder you press, the more that ink is gonna flow out of that tip and start spreading out all over the place. So, and then that's where these little goof ups come too, because it spreads where you don't want it. So that's why I used my marker, but of course you get more of a cartoony line when you do that too. Yeah, it's just a risk you take. And because I don't like this cartoony line, I'm probably gonna later go over all of those, smooth them out. Because I'm looking at it thinking, that's not too wide. It'll be fine. I can do that and it'll still look good. So I will do that later when you guys aren't watching, so that you don't have to sit through all of it. But you do want to get some blending going in. So when you are doing your feathering thing, wherever your pen touches, more ink is going to get there than at the end where you lift it off. Okay, where you lift it off, it's going to be the lightest. So if you want any kind of, let's do this one because it's darker. If you want any kind of little feathering color going, then you need to feather it. And always go in the direction that the petal would be going, or the lines. If your stamp has lines, then you would go in the direction of its lines. Does that make sense? All right. This one actually is going up like this, all the way. And I don't need it to be down there at the bottom, obviously. All right, so now I still need that to blend because it's not. So I'll take my light pineapple punch and we'll try to blend that edge in. I'm getting kind of a weird, instead of it being purple like I'd hoped, I'm getting a weird rusty look. Not liking it at all. So we'll fix that problem. Let's get something blue. The reason it's rusty is it's interacting with the yellow, and too much purple and yellow is going to go more to the red than the blue that's in your purple. So we'll get some balmy blue and we'll see if we can restore some of our purple color here. Now it's just looking a little blue. It takes a while too, you know, to see what color when you're mixing your inks, what color am I really getting? And that's why blending pens are so much fun to work with. If you don't have them, you should get them. And then just practice seeing what your colors end up being when you blend them. Because you might come up with some kinds of blends that you prefer over what you were originally starting with. Okay, this one's the light one, but I really want to restore this purple color here. So we're going with the dark, and we're going to see if we can get it a little, oh, that's better, isn't it? Sort of? I don't know. I'm not so sure. So we better go to the outline. Yeah, you're just not cooperating with me. I told Andy I was going to do this, and she was excited about it. And I was a little nervous because I knew this is exactly what was probably going to happen. I'm not getting the color that I really wanted here on this little pansy. Or, well, it is a pansy, but I'm turning it into a violet. But it's too red. It's not purple enough. Okay, I am not going to labor here forever. I know it gets tiresome, but if you really need the color to be back, you can go back to your marker, but it's going to be it. What you get with this is what you're going to get. Because once you've colored marker, you can't do anything about it. Blending pens, you can adjust. Marker, not so much. So, this is a little risk, but we're going to take it anyway. Not going to get too heavy-handed with it. But I just need to restore a little bit of my actual purple here. All right. There we go. And it was just there where I was having the issue. All right, you are just such fat little lines, but still not too bad. Okay, we're going to go ahead just with purple. Try to keep that purple color. Okay, now to get it nice and smooth, I'm just pushing a little bit harder and trying to keep a nice smooth pace. Okay. Oh, if you've decorated cakes, you probably have experienced what I'm doing here. You've just experienced it with frosting instead of a pen. Trying to keep it smooth. Now I can get rid of my ruffle a little that I kind of changed my mind on. And these actually should be a little rounder. That's kind of why they look weird, is they're not quite shaped properly here. This one, I don't need a line there. I just need it to be more like this. That one's just weird. This is why when you get a weird one, you're thinking, that's where the label's going. Putting a label on it. The label's covering the one I loathe. Okay, there we go. Now, I know it's looking weird. I know. But we're going to fix this. Put in the lines. That'll help. So we'll put in the lines. So take your nice little end. Start at the, and we're only going to do them on the little arms going out and the bottom. So the beard, the sides, not the back. And we're going to put in lines. And how it goes is we go long, long, and short. And I could do another short there, but I didn't have really room for it. So long, long, short, short. Okay, so kind of long, long, short. Don't have room, so long, long, short. So you just want to start near your throat and feather a nice line out. Oops, that one I did wrong. It's make sure I'm looking at it right. Long, long. Actually, the short one's on the, oh well. Long, long, short, short. Doesn't matter so much, maybe, hopefully. All right. the lines are the ones that kind of start getting the little face going. So you can see what you're getting. Short, short, short. It's sort of like a cat's whiskers. Right, just put in the little whiskers. All right, now we're gonna put in the little whiskers on the bottom. So we want long, long, and then we'll just put in a couple of, well, maybe 3 little short ones there. Okay, again, just like a little beard. You've got little cat whiskers, got a little beard going. Cute, cute. That helps my flub one a little bit. Not a lot, but a little. A little bit. When we're at the park, we love watching the dogs. The people bring their dogs down, but most dogs are just way too overtrained. It's like, come on, take that poor thing off the leash. Let him run. He's a dog. They see the ducks and they turn their heads. We've got some people down there that have poodles. These are rust-colored, really cool poodles, and anyway, oops, I missed one. Those poodles are all, you know, dressed up in their fancy little poodle hair. Perfect. And they're cute, sort of, if you like a poodle. Anyway, we always feel a little sorry for them for looking as silly as they do. I'm just not liking these edges. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit darker yellow here. Try to get this to... I'm just not liking it at all. So I'm abandoning my Attain Violet, I think, to try to salvage something here. I'm going to have to look at the picture. If you go on Pinterest or even Google and just type in the names, you know, of your flowers that you love, that you're trying to copy, it sure does help. And if I'd had a copy here, maybe that would have helped me. I should have brought one of my flowers in. Good grief. I actually have one out there, although the Attains are not blooming yet. And they're fickle. Sometimes I have to buy them, and sometimes they come back. They're not always reliable. But this year we had a pretty mild winter. They probably will be back, but they kind of randomly seed themselves around, so I'm never really sure where they're going to pop up. That's another reason I love them. They're unpredictable in a nice way. They never show up where I don't want them. There's never been a pansy or violet that showed up where I didn't want them. Oh, I guess I shouldn't say that, actually. I have some rampant ground cover ones that I do have to pull up occasionally because they get a little carried away and try to take over the grafts of my roses. Claim that space. Okay. All right, that's a little bit better. And now we need to make this center look like it's going down, right? So what we're going to have to do is we need to have some lightening up going on. Now I did use the little beard here, and that did help me. I can see that I used the little stamp that had the beard, and I could try it. I'm afraid that I might not like what I get. So I'm talking about, I think, this beard here, because that has a more distinct center. I'm a little afraid to try it, so I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go ahead. Let's see if because what will happen where it is I actually want it to be lightening up, not getting darker. Where that is, I really want it to be darker on the inside going out. Okay, so we're basically, I'm just making a little bit darker center, bigger, darker center. And I don't want to lose my yellow there. Do any of you guys like pansies? And did you know that people used to send little bouquets as, like I think in my Little Women, the book Little Women. The boyfriends would send their beloveds little, what do they call them? They were little bouquets, but they had like a name for this little bouquet. And it would, it carried little messages to them, like little hidden messages. So if your parents didn't really want you conversing with this reprobate guy, he could send you little flower messages, and they might not, they were parents, they might not know what, what the message was. And I'm just thinking as I'm reading stuff like that, I don't buy that in a million years. The parents knew exactly what was going on. They're not dumb. Okay. Anyway, we're going to put some of the veining up here in the upper one. Now, we've sort of got some veining going there. Not, I don't know, I'm the pen thing, not liking the pen thing. Let's get the blending pen here. We'll try to do it a little more subtly. It's darker, so you wouldn't think subtly, but the pen just doesn't give you a soft thing at all. I kind of like some of that, but some of it's not. You can see where I touched the paper, where the pen is, and I don't like that. So we're going to smudge it a bit. So you could send a really nasty note, probably. And I used to like you note, but I don't so much anymore with flowers. I'm sure you could. And these days, since nobody uses the language of flowers, they wouldn't even know you were doing that. They would think that they were getting this nice I like you bouquet, and you were actually sending them a I don't really care for you all that much anymore. Wouldn't that be funny? It'd be funny to you or to me, but if they knew about it, it would be hurtful. So please don't do that. Don't follow my bad advice. That wouldn't be a nice thing to do. It's funny to think about somebody doing that, but to actually do it, not so funny. All right, so that's hopefully going to just soften that up a bit. Not sure that it did, but... Oh, I'm liking my other flowers better, and I don't like that I'm liking my other flowers better. I really wanted something good here. Usually what I say when you're coloring with blending pens is just keep coloring, because you're going to get it. It will look better. You just got to keep going till you get what you like. Oops, did I do that one? It doesn't look very done. I guess I did. Oh, it's this one I missed. Thought I missed one.
Okay, what do you guys think?
Are you thinking it's going to get better, or are you thinking it's going to get worse? You could take a little vote. It's not going to hurt my feelings, because I'm looking at it as an either way. It could be, this could be going either way. It could get better, but I have done them where they've gotten worse, so it's possible. Sometimes the theory of just keep coloring and it'll look better, it's a theory, so it sometimes, most of the time, it works. Doesn't always. So I'm up for grabs on that one. All right, anyhow, that's that. And we're going to try to make that center better. And I wanted just yellow and purple, but I'm going to have to introduce some orange, I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm not sure how to blend in this to get it to be more what I want without doing that. I guess I can try my darker and see if my darker center can help here. So let's just see if a little darker center can make a difference without going to a whole different color. Because if we go to orange, I don't want orange. So we'll try a little darker center, just a little bit. When the ducks see the dogs coming at the park, they don't scatter. You know, they know that most dogs are going to leave them alone because the owners have them on a leash. So it's really funny to watch when the owner doesn't, or the owner happily just takes off the leash. And that dog, oh my goodness, they are going to just eat those ducks up, but they never do, of course. They never even get close to them. And it's good for the ducks. They've got some life in them. They squawk and flutter their way into the water. It's fun. It's fun, fun, fun. Okay, that did help a bit, and I'm thinking I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want it to get too carried away with something worse. But I want some nice veins here, and I'm scared to use my pens now because my pens, I don't know, they're just not, they looked good on this one, but I'm not so happy with how it's turning out on this one. This is Daffodil Delight, so it's a little darker. Let's give it a go. And we'll see. So we'll be from the throat out. Oh, that's pretty light. I can't even see it. So we'll go ahead with... Ooh, Bumblebee. You're pretty dark. I don't think I'm going to like Bumblebee. Let's try it on the one I know I'm going to be covering anyway with a label. Yeah, see, that's pretty dark. I don't like you. We're going to have to just stick with the one I've got. We'll use the other tip. Daffodil Delight, and we'll use the other tip. And you don't need to use a lot here. Just a little bit. Just to bring in some of that veining that you would see if you did it with a die cut. So when you do, I would practice first on a die cut. Cut your die, and because that's what I did, and it really does help to kind of get a feel for how these veins go. So if you cut it with the die and color your die cut, just take your marker blending pen and go right through the grooves on that die, and then you'll get a little more comfortable with doing this before you try it freehand. Okay, so do you see how that's helped? I mean, it's still not what I really wanted initially, but you want to make sure that this looks like a small little throat. And many of these flowers have white centers. So if you want to do a white one, let's do it with my one that's going to get covered because it's going to look weird. You can give it a little white throat with your gel pen. And since I'm really loathing my edges here a lot, especially on this one, you can take your gel pen. This is a number 10, so it's pretty juicy. And you can smooth that out. See how that's nice? You know, nice little white center. You can give your flower a nice little white edge. That might make your edge look a little bit better, maybe. You have to be careful because this can look chalky if you get too much of it on. So, oops, that actually is going to go that way. That's part of the problem on that one. My gel pen, you can see how messy it is. It's not, it's coming to the end of its days. All right, we're not fussing with that because I don't want it to get any more ruined than it already is to some degree. This one, let's finish out those centers that I'm trying to get a little darker. Never color your gel pen with these though, because otherwise you'll ruin the nib on that. All right. Helped a little bit. Still not thrilled with it. Let's try to smooth these veins a little bit. So this is just my light pineapple punch. All right. trying to get a little bit of depth going there, and it's not cooperating, ladies, not cooperating. All right, I am hoping with the background it's going to be better. We're going to see. But it's just, I'm not getting this nice crisp line that I really wanted around here. And if I take my gorgeous grape, let's take a gorgeous grape and see what happens if I can find it. Where did I put it? I had you out. Where did you go? That one's Highland Heather. Did I lose you up top here? Wow, maybe, oh, there you are. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Well, hi, Michelle. It's nice to see you. Hope you're having a great day. Okay, so we'll try it on this one and see what happens. It's too wiggly. So I think if I had done this with a ruffled edge, I think I would have liked the outcome a little better than the smooth. So maybe that's what I did different, that I'm just really not happy with how the edge is turning out here because I didn't ruffle it. I did it smooth. And the ruffle, look at that. It looks a lot better with a ruffle. Okay, so we're ruffling it. Didn't really want to ruffle, but we're going to ruffle. Yeah, I think that will look better. I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure that that's going to be the answer, because as soon as I start putting a ton of the marker on, to me, it stops going from more the artistic. It starts to become more of the cartoon. You know, a drawing instead of a sketch or a watery color kind of thing. It starts to me to look more. No, that was my mistake here with this edge. We'll cover that one. All of that part's going to get covered because those are definitely the weakest ones. Okay. Wow, it's so quiet out. I can't believe there's no wind. Ladies, I have got to get finished here so I can get out on a bike ride. It's nice out there. My bike has not been used a lot because it's been so windy. And then the other reason is because I've been cleaning and painting, trying to make sure everything's, and it's beautiful out here. If you want to see some lilacs, you should get out here quick because they're gonna start to fade now. I've got my white ones that are pretty, they're the last ones to start. The white and the really dark purple ones. And those are in their best right now, so it won't be long and they'll be finished. Okay, there we go. Okay, I am thinking that helped. The little edge and making it a ruffly edge helped. All right. That one's that way. I did some of my lines. The bottom leaf goes up and out, and then that one's up and out. And I should have refreshed my mind first in how the flower is formed before starting the lines. This one, even though I didn't really like the coloration that I did there, I think it has better form as far as all the blending of it and all. So go figure. All right, there we go. Now, finally, we're almost done. I am going to do the background, and all I did was just take my, oh, where are you? Purple Posy. I took the light purple posy and just colored in that background. At least I thought it was purple posy. Now I'm not so sure. You're not looking very purpley. I'm going to stick with it though because your edges of your flower are purple, you don't have to worry about going into it at all. You know, you can just color. Just try not to have to go over it too many times. I mean, you don't want a lot of variation in color going, but there's going to be some. That's just the nature of it. So cute. Actually turning out not bad. Not quite as good as I'd hoped, but it's definitely passable. Once I get that label on it and cover these goofy spots up. That is life. In fact, think about all the kids that you knew at school. The perfectionists who cannot live with the goofy spots covered up in life, they're always miserable. This is the joy of life, is that there's weird little variations. Things don't always go the way planned. People have unique ideas and they do things that bug you, and things sometimes don't work out well. But actually, maybe it's a good thing. So if you can just kind of loosen up and not worry about it being different so much, maybe you'll even like that outcome. Who knows? So what's happening is that my blending is I'm not happy with it here because of these straight lines. So let's just give them a little bit of a jiggle. And then they'll look maybe a little bit less contrived. Maybe. You think? Because I think that's the problem. Don't let it all be too even. A little bit of mess here and there can actually work wonders. Okay, I think that is helping, but we're going to have to employ something darker to actually accomplish it, but not too dark. So that's dark Highland Heather. That one's the light. Let's see if this will help. Just something not quite as static and straight. Hey, what do you think? Did it help or not? Andy, it's coming out fine. I'm not sure. I'm asking you, is this helping? Is it helping or not? I'm not convinced that it's helping. It might. I'm not sure. You know, and even when you're doing squiggles, it's really hard not to keep it like a scallop. It's real easy to just keep making it the same pattern. Randomness is not easy to accomplish. Even when you're trying to, it's not easy. So, and as you can see, it really takes time to do it. And that's one reason some people hate coloring and others don't mind it, is that we don't mind all this fussiness. We're kind of enjoying it. I just keep thinking it's gonna get better. The problem is if I continue too awfully long, we're gonna have no yellow left here. We're gonna be working with just tiny yellow in the center, and we're gonna have no yellow left on the actual violet. At some point you have to just say, that is it. I cannot do any more with that one. But I haven't abandoned it yet. I'm still thinking that randomness, that random ruffle edge, didn't that make it look less like a cartoon? I think it did. I hope. anytime I ever come into Facebook like this without knowing exactly what I'm doing, I know I'm always taking a risk. But you know what? I do it on purpose. It's really tempting for me to say, "Don't do that, Kathy. You're gonna regret it. It's not gonna go well. It never does. You're gonna end up with something you didn't really want to see. And is it helpful? And you know what? I keep doing it anyway. And here's the reason why. It's sort of like when you're teaching your kids to read. You're not always, going to read a book you even like, but there's a process. And it's to become the kind of person you want to be, which is better at reading if it's a reader, or in my case, better at coloring because I like to color, or better at just crafting in general. It helps to see someone else that you think does some things good once in a while. It helps for you to see them struggle and to change up what was a plan. And I'm not the only one that does this. I mean, there are other demonstrators with much more talent than I have that do that too. And that's one of the reasons that we really love to watch them, because they show us that, you know what, you don't have to be perfect. And you can, and here are some things that you can do to kind of change it up a little bit. So when you get it, not perfect, you can fix it. So that's all I'm doing. I'm doing this, embarrassing myself repeatedly on things that I don't really like all that well sometimes. And if I had a plan and came to you with that plan, and it was a perfect rendition of what I was trying to do, you might have actually wanted to copy what I was doing more than what you're going to want to do with this one, but you might not have learned as much along the way. So I'm this business, I'm not doing it just to promote myself only. I'm actually trying to show people you can really love doing these things and even not feel like you're doing it all that well, and you can still love it. And then in this case, with these little guys, most of these guys are turning out better than I thought they would. About 5 minutes ago, I was thinking, there's no hope for you. You are sad, 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 but you're not doing too bad now. All right, so now I'm going to tell you that even at this point, when you're looking at it thinking, don't really like it as well, if you'd added some orange in, that would look fabulous. I think I'd have to agree with you, but let me try to collect my pens here because I'm kind of like losing them all over the place. All right, when you cut the dies out, when you put this cute little scallopy edge on it, oh my goodness, it's suddenly going to look a whole lot better. Guaranteed. All right, so we'll bring you in. And this guy is going to also help me figure out how can I get rid of the ones I don't like so much. So we're going to just work it around. These turned out better than that one and that one. Let's see. Yeah, that one's okay. Those are the best. That one's not bad. So let's see. Well, let's go like right about. I want to cover this one up for sure with a label. So I can't really put it in the corner. I could put it up here and my label could go like here maybe. Now I also could turn it this way. Let's see what happens if I do that. And then I could have my label here. But I really want the faces this way. This is how I want the faces. So actually go up here, like here. And then I think I can get my label to cover up the parts I don't like so much. And there's one more there that I kind of... All right. Oops. A little rubber band, you ding-a-ling. What are you doing in there? Okay. Oh boy, my drawers are knocking around there. Not my my block drawers. Okay, now watch. Look at this. This die cuts out so clean. And let me move this. Watch, watch, watch. Oh, you're so sweet. Too cute. I don't even have to get out my little brush. Have I sold you on the die? I think so. It's pretty nice. Okay, there we go. I think Jeff and I are going to have to go to yogurt again tonight. I don't know. We have been really enjoying going to the yogurt shop, but they have not got their chairs out there yet. We were watching a family that came in with, I think they had 3 or 4 kids. I don't know, really nice boys. And it was kind of warm enough, so they sat outside. And the guy finally, after they sat on the grass for just a minute, and the wife didn't even sit down. I think she said, I'm not sitting on the grass. She had shorts on, you know, it was pretty warm. So he just went in and he grabbed the chairs and he brought them out and he plopped them down on the grass and they sat and they cleaned up some of those plastic gloves they have you put on. He cleaned those up. Now, you could, if you used this as your stencil, you could use your leftover, if it was cut straighter than mine was, you know, right there. But I think we want yellow, and then we'll put purple posy on underneath that. So let's get out. You could, if you're using So Saffron instead of your pineapple punch, this is actually Daffodil Delight, and it might work. Let's look. Let's grab out some Retired Pineapple Punch. And compare. Oh, Pineapple Punch. I so like you better. That's okay, but we're going with Pineapple Punch. And we'll just do, now this is fairly small, so instead of doing our 5 1/2, we'll go at 5 1/4, and then we'll go at 4, and we'll see if that's big enough. I'm not sure that it is, but we'll see. It might be. It's pretty close. Yep, pretty close. So we'll go with that. And if you want to, it looks really nice, I think. You get your little tri-fold punch out. Okay, here's your little tri-fold punch, and we'll do the corner. And Jewel, I think you are the one that told me to do it like this, and you are so right. This actually works pretty good. You just put it upside down. I can see where it goes, and it actually does punch. I've tried it this way before, and it wasn't, I was hurting myself, but it's just because I was pushing it down like more here than on the sides, okay? And so that actually does work perfect. And then you've got your nice rounded corners, don't you? Isn't that nice? Okay, so we'll put some glue on you and put you on there. There we go. And then we can do the same thing with our pineapple, or not pineapple. Let's do Gorgeous Grape. That'll really jump out, won't it? The trouble with our yogurt place, so that's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And if I wanted to, I could take my score line my score tool, and just score it, and then I've got my card all ready to go, right? Then I don't even have to. I usually do it on a white base, though, because then I don't have to put another piece of white inside. And then it just helps me to stretch out my cardstock farther too by doing it. Now, if I wanted to do a ribbon, here's the thing. These little scallops are perfect for sticking a cute little ribbon in. Oh, and let me show you. I did use the tag on this. So here's how the cuts come on that tag. Isn't it sweet? Oh, so cute. Let's do that. Where's, oh, there you are. All right, so wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you. Very sweet. We'll just do that. Although I do like this one too. So you've got your, on this Days to Remember, you've got Don't Forget. And since pansies are, the ones are violets, violas, they're the ones that were sent for, and pansies were too, for, you know, remembrance, for don't forget sort of things. I kind of like that, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to do the one that's bigger because I want to cut up, I want to cover up my big flub. Go with purple, 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 gorgeous grape. Okay, there we go, nice and strong. And clean that. You're not very clean. Let's try that again. There, that's better. Okay, I'm having a hard time, you know, with the, because now I'm just sticking those on randomly since they're not putting those on the inside anymore and I can't see where it is and all that, but oh wow. All right, so this is the label that's that one, but I would have to run it like this, right? No, it will fit. It's just it barely does, but it's gonna, so we'll use it because that way I can do that, I can do the ribbon, and then you can see what I'm talking about, because the ribbon can slide through your little scallops and through these lines, not so much, so I don't know, it might not work as well as I'm thinking it will. Oops, I have a plate on here. Let's grab you, put you on. I'm going to move it over. I don't know if you can see this right now, but I'm moving it over. I could put a little something there. If I want to maybe have things on the side instead, I'll center it. Kind of depends. Like on this one, I put a little flower on the side, so I stuck it on the side. But I think for this one, we'll just go ahead and center it. All right, look at you. Look at those, so cute. Let me grab a ribbon really quick. I'm sure I have something really good over here in the corner. Oh, you know what we have? We have a gingham. I don't know if gingham's gonna work, but gingham always looks good. Right? Doesn't gingham always look good? Oh, how cute you are. All right, so now we can stick this here. Very sweet. And you can take your ribbon and stick it through your little scallops. If you can do it, you can. I might have to get my tweezers out. There we go. There. What time did I start? Have I been going on that long? Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Oh, that clock is wrong. That's somewhat helpful, but my goodness, this is like a super long video. This is what happens when you don't know what you're doing. You go forever. All right. That was, I'm sure I lost everyone in the audience like hours ago. All right, here we go. get you in there. Okay, if I should have not have centered it because my bow is gonna kind of interfere here, but oh wow. Now you can go under and over if you're thinking you're gonna have bow issues. You could even just do the bow here, and I don't really want to do that because I want to cover that. Oh, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna work this. Well, let's try to not get it crooked for one thing. We'll just start and see what happens. I don't want to tear it. That would be worse. Let me grab my little tweezers because you're not cooperating with me. I'm fraying it. Once it's frayed, you're pretty much done with that. There we go. All right, there we go. And then I can take it and stick it up here, hopefully. All right. I don't know if I really have a nice room for a bow, but we'll give it a go. And then I can fix it later if it doesn't quite do what I want it to do. You're fussing around here. Might have to work on that one on the privately on the side here. Okay, good enough for now, just to get things going. Trim your edge. And you could leave it, you know, rough too. Oh, I smeared it. Nope, that was something else. I thought I smeared it, but it was just a thread from the ribbon. All right, so this will have to be adjusted, and you would have to secure this, of course, but just to get things done, isn't that cute? It actually looks better than I expected it to. You could take your dimensionals, if you wanted to, and raise it up. I'm going to go ahead and just put on some glue just to get that on. Ooh. That was coming out in a big glob there. Fix that because it's got a big glue glob on my hand. Okay, there we go. Like that. All right, there we go. And if you wanted to, you could always put little, you know. The other thing about the centers that I like, I still am not happy with those centers. So if you don't like your center, you can always find some kind of little doodad like these. And you could probably make your center. You might like it better with one of these in it. Right? What do you think? Maybe. You could do that. I'm not sure that I like it. I don't know that I dislike it. I'm not sure that I really like it either. Oops. Has to stick though. That one's not sticking. I left the backing on the, somehow managed to leave the sticky on the paper. Now it's on my hand. This is like definitely Laurel and Hardy time now. It's time to be done when you're doing stuff like that. All right, there we go. Tuck you up in there. That'll hold you on for a minute while I think about what you're doing. Okay, I'm just covering it. Just covering it. All right, so that is that. All right, we are finally finished. You probably thought we would never get done. All right. Oh, the checkered ribbon. Hi there, Teresa. You guys are still with me. That's awesome. I really thought everyone would be gone by now. That checkered ribbon is SU. I don't know when it was. Remember when we had some? I have pink ones too. Magenta, in fact. It can't be too old. But anyway, I'm a ribbon fan, so I'm sure you guys do it too. You go to the fabric store, to Hobby Lobby, and you look and see what the ribbon is. So, and it is, you know, it is a very standard purpley color. So it matches ours perfectly. Of course, that's why we prefer Stampin' Up! Stuff, because I don't have to buy it, go home and say, dang, it's a little too blue. It doesn't match, because it always matches. But oh, well, if you are also like me, you might have color samples in your purse of our cardstock so that you always have the colors there to compare to see if it's close enough, because that, I think you could find ribbon like that somewhere because it has been gone for a while. All right, thank you so much, ladies, for sticking with me on a Friday. I'm so shocked that anyone is with me. I will be here this Monday. Because I don't have to have the house. I was cleaning it constantly, you know. Every time somebody came through, I had to clean it. And I had to sweep all the time, because normally I don't sweep outside. I don't ever sweep outside unless it is windy. But I had to when people were coming through all the time, because all the petals that we've got petals from the lilacs, we have petals from the crabapple tree, petals from the cherry tree out front. So I thought they look, I never sweep them because Jeff and I think they look romantic on the walkway, all the petals. And they do the first day. They're fine when they're pink. When they turn brown, not so much. But other people would have just thought, messy, more work for me. So I had to keep it all swept, and so now it's nice not to have to do that. So on Monday I will be back, and our daughter will be here, but she probably won't be arriving until later. So I might be coming on early Monday. I probably won't be at 1. I'll try to hit it more around 11. All right, well, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend, okay? All right, thanks a lot. Bye.